Hi, thanks for joining. Put together a practice today. As always, do what feels right in the body. Take your time and hold off when you need, and I'll make some suggestions for modification cues as we go through the poses. We'll start today in child's pose. Having big toes to touch, start to sink the hips back over the heels and walk the hands out. Maybe tenting through the fingers so the palms are raised. And maybe placing the forehead on the mat and taking some full breaths in and out the nose. Trying to create some space between the vertebra, the back body, and trying to release the mind and just let everything kind of sink heavy, forehead sinking into the mat. And take a few more deep breaths. Breathe into that tight spot on the spine. Try to expand through the rib cage, creating a little bit more space for the air to go. One more inhale and one more exhale. And place the palms into the mat, gaze between the thumbs. Start to place the forearms on the mat, slide the belly forward, and come into a Sphinx pose, back bend, elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms pressing into the mat, grip the mat, send the heart through on your inhale, gazing up to the top corner of the room. Stay for the exhale breath. Take one more inhale, really lift through the heart center. And exhale, slowly lower onto the belly. Take a full round of breath. And let's move through child's pose, sending the hips back over the heels. Take a breath here. Walk the fingertips out forward, spread them wide, place them back onto the mat. And we'll move into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Rolling the spine up through tabletop, hands and knees, tuck the toes, and start to lift the hips up and back. Knees can be bent, and start to pedal out the legs a few times. Moving with your breath, staying with inhales and exhales, in and out the nose. One more big inhale, and one more exhale. Press through the hands. Lift the hips high, and then gaze between the thumbs and start to heel toe, walk the feet in between the thumbs. See if you can keep the palms on the mat while you land the feet in between the thumbs. And find your forward fold Uttanasana. Weight comes towards the toes, maybe wrapping the hands behind the ankles. Navel in and up towards the spine, chest towards the shins. And take a full round of breath here. And let's start to tuck the pelvis and roll the spine all the way up through stand. Shoulders roll up and back. Find your mountain pose, Tadasana. Take a breath. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, hands through heart center. Open up the arms wide, palms facing the mat. Spread the fingertips out wide. Heart lifts. Shine the palms forward. Stretch through the chest. Take a deep inhale. Heart lifts. Palms down. Slight bend in the knees. Forward fold. Fingertips on the mat. Inhale, fingertips to shins. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll plant the hands. Step the left foot back and find your low lunge. Maybe finding some forward and back movement. Trying to zip the inner thighs together. Gazing towards the top of your mat. Stretching the back heel towards the back. And we'll end up with the front knee over the front ankle. Long spine. And take one more breath here, pressing the back heel towards the back of the room. The left hand's going to plant. We'll start to add this through a twist. So the right arm's going to come up, keeping the fingertips out wide. And this is option 1 to stay here. Another option would be to drop the back knee, a little less effort, a little less pressure here, a little bit more stability, or come to the outer edge of the back foot. So you'll find this a huge stretch in the outer hip. Lift up out of the side waist on your inhale, and exhale, dip it back down. Inhale, slight lift. Get into the obliques, exhale, release. One more time, inhale, keep it up, maybe bicep over ear here, stretching, rotating the top shoulder up towards the ceiling. Take a breath, and then circle the hand back down, find your low lunge, back heel lifts. Let's step back into our plank pose, and lower all the way down to the belly. Hands out at 2 and 10, fingertips pressing, palms lift. We'll just start to oscillate through our cobras a little bit. We'll lift over the left shoulder or drop the right on the inhale. Exhale, roll back through center. Inhale, look over the right shoulder, left shoulder drops. Come back through center. A few more times here, oscillating back and forth. Get into the shoulder, wake it up. Moving at your own pace. Let the lower body just kind of hang heavy on the mat if possible. One more time each side. And come back through center. Press the fingertips on the mat. Inhale, send the heart forward. Find a wide cobra pose, hands at 10 and 2. And on your next exhale, roll back down to the belly. Let's find a child's pose. Big toes touch. Take a breath here. And as you come through tabletop position, we'll find our next round of downward facing dog. Tuck the toes and lift the hips. Gaze in between the thumbs, and let's walk to the top of the mat. And enjoy this journey here. Again, see if you can keep the hands on the mat. We're working through the shoulders a little bit in our warm-up here. Meet and forward fold. Weight is in the toes. Chest towards the shin. Take a big breath here. Folding the body in half. Exhale, let it go. And we'll roll up the spine. Inhale, up. Roll the shoulders back. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Open up the arms again. Palms facing down. Spread through the biceps. And then palms facing front. Find a little chest opener here. And palms down again. Bend the knees. Send the heart forward and find your fold. Inhale, half lift. Hands on the shins. Extend through the spine. Drop the hands. This time, right foot steps back. Find a low lunge and take a few breaths here, squaring hips off towards the front perhaps. Option to drop the knee at any time. And take a few breaths, opening up through the hips. And we'll make this into a twist. The left arm is going to start to lift. Twisting through the lower part of the spine, maybe gazing up to these fingertips. So option to drop the back knee or keep it lifted, rolling into the outer edges of both feet of the back foot. Inhale, start to lift the hip a little bit, find a little bit more stretch. Exhale, sink it. 2 more times, inhale and exhale. 1 more time, inhale, lift here. Maybe bring top bicep over the ear, externally rotating the top shoulder. Take a breath in. And exhale, circle the hand down, find your low lunge pose. And press through the hands so you can step back into plank or supported plank here. And we'll lower down to the belly with control. Inhale to your back bend of choice, cobra, maybe up dog by coming onto the tops of the toes and lifting the thighs, lifting the knees. And let's find downward facing dog. And take a breath here. And gaze between the thumbs. Let's step up to the top. Find your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. We'll step the left foot back and find your low lunge. Make this into a twist. Right arm is going to lift up, maybe travel to the outer edges of the feet, maybe lift the hip. Circle the arm back down. We're going to move into our side lunge to the back of the mat. So turn all 10 toes to the left, bending the back knee, maybe flexing the right foot. So my hips are facing towards the back of the room. You'll start to feel this in the inner thigh area. Maybe find Skandasana by sinking the hips down towards the back heel. So just taking a breath or two here, just warming up in this pose. Maybe playing around with crawling the fingertips out a little bit, seeing where you can handle. And we'll shift back up through center. Front toes are going to face the front of the mat, moving into side angle pose. Left toes in, forearm on the front leg, bend through this top leg here, and then rotate the spine, gaze up towards the fingertips. And take a breath here. Strong upper body, strong obliques and core. And let's find a side lunge again to the back of the mat. Travel towards the back. Either stay in your side lunge or dip the hips. And let's move back into our side angle pose, coming up through center, front toes towards the front. And inhale. And stay for the exhale. One more time, traveling to the back of the mat. Front toes flex. And we'll meet in our side angle pose. Take a breath here. And we'll meet back in low lunge, facing the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the right arm, and we'll move into side plank from here. So drop the left knee, swing the right leg around, find your supported side plank, maybe option keeping both legs straight, lifting up out of this top arm. Maybe bringing the top bicep over the ear, stabilizing through this left shoulder, and bring the right arm back up. And we'll meet in plank pose and come into downward facing dog. Take a breath. Gaze to the top of the mat and we'll meet at the top. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your fold. Right foot steps back this time and find your low lunge. Squaring the hips off towards the front of the room. Inhale, left arm lifts. Coming to the outer edges of the feet. And coming back through to your low lunge, facing the top of the mat. Now we're going to move to the back. Find your side lunge or your Skandasana pose. Maybe warming up with side lunge here. Maybe playing around with where you place your fingertips. Maybe they come towards the back of the mat. Taking a few breaths here. And come back up through center. Lift the hips, front toe towards the front of the mat. Back toes angled in. Find your side angle pose. Maybe sink through the hips. And we'll move to the back. Find your side lunge again. Or Skandasana, sink the hips. And travel up. Side angle pose. And one more time, traveling to the back of the mat. Maybe playing with those front toes to flex again. And travel to the front. Switch the toes to angle towards this front of the mat and lift the top arm up. And let's meet in low lunge. Right hand plants. And we'll come to the outer edge of the right foot now. Or option to drop the right knee, swing the left leg around. Find your supported side plank or full side plank, Vashisthasana. And lift through the obliques. Take one more inhale breath here. And exhale, find your plank pose. Shift the hips back, find downward facing dog and take a breath. We'll move to the top of the mat. And we'll start to move with the breath a little bit more. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Fingertips on the mat. Let's step the left foot back, find low lunge. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale to your twist, right arm up. Move to the outer edges of the feet and press both hips up to the sky, maybe top arm, bicep by the ear. Circle the hand down, find your low lunge. Inhale, breath here, find length in the spine. Exhale, Skandasana, back of the mat. Travel through, find your side angle pose here. Option to drop the right fingertips down towards the heel. Find extended side angle pose. Spinning this top shoulder open. And circle the hand down, left hand on the mat. Roll to the pinky edge of the left foot. We'll find our side plank. Inhale here. And exhale, let's meet back in our low lunge, right foot, top of the mat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, find your forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, right foot steps back, this time finding low lunge. Inhale, left arm lifts, find your twist. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Pop the hips up, bicep by the ear, and find a stretch. And circle back down, find low lunge. Back heel is lifted. Move to the back of the mat, Skandasana. Move to the front of the mat. Find your side angle pose, wherever that looks like for you today is perfectly where you should be. Circle the right hand back down. Back heel lifts. And move into your version of Vashisthasana, side plank. Gaze to the top of the mat. The left foot's going to step back up front. Low lunge. Meet at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Left foot steps back. Find your low lunge. Inhale, right arm lifts. Find your twist. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Inhale, lift through the obliques, maybe bicep by the ear. Open up through the shoulder. Circle the hand back down, low lunge. Find Skandasana, back of the mat. Side angle or extended side angle towards the front. Left hand plants, back heel lifts. Your version of your side plank, supported or otherwise. Finding the variation that works for you. And bring the right leg forward and find your low lunge, or keeping the knee down, find supported lunge. We'll meet at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Right foot steps back, low lunge. Inhale, left arm lifts. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Pop the hip up and stretch. Circle the hand back down. Skandasana, back of the mat. Your version of side angle, top of the mat. And circle the hand back down. Back heel lifts. Move it into side plank pose. And gaze to the top. Left foot steps towards the front. Low lunge. Top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Let's move through this again. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Low lunge. Inhale, right arm lifts. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Pop the hip up. Right bicep by the ear. Circle the arm back down, low lunge. Skandasana, back of the mat. Side angle pose, front of the mat. Left hand circles down, back heel lifts. Side plank pose. And we'll meet back into our low lunge, right foot top of the mat. And find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back, last side, long spine. Left arm lifts, find your twist. Roll to the outer edges of the feet. Inhale, lift the arm and hip up. Circle the hand back down, low lunge. Skandasana, back of the mat. Front of the mat, side angle pose. Right hand plants. Move through your low lunge onto your side angle pose. Your side plank pose. And then bring the left foot forward, find your low lunge. Long spine, meet at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Now roll the spine all the way up through to stand. Roll the shoulders up and back. Find your Tadasana mountain pose. Take a breath or two here. Feeling grounded through both feet. Feeling tall and long through the spine. Maybe the heart rate got up a little bit. Or maybe you need a few more rounds of the flow. So take the rest as you wish. And we'll inhale, reach up together. Exhale, bring hands through heart center. Thumbs in between at the center of the heart, gazing down towards the fingertips. Sending peace. Namaste.